Jordan, we're all supposed to be at the bar meeting at noon. I'm not sure how we're gonna do here. If I'd have known we were gonna have the meeting in 3 hours, I wouldn't have set so much stuff in here, but they're bringing your client in.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Judge.
Are you going to the meeting in 3 hours?
I'm gonna try, yeah.
I'll bring these with me.
Okay. Or do you want me to just hang around?
No, I won't have time because as soon as I'm done here, I'm gonna leave for there.
Okay, thanks, Judge.
So is Jordan.
I appreciate you letting me do this by Zoom, Your Honor.
Yes.
I did get a call and my dryer will be here in 20 minutes, so it worked out pretty good.
Well, all right. I may have to wait a minute if I go
they will.
fast.
Awesome.
We said that from the law. You think you're gonna be on that one? Okay. I'll touch base with you once we get closer.
Good morning, sir. Are you John David Peters?
Yes.
You look way better than the last time I saw you.
Feel a whole heck of a lot better.
74 days in custody, I think, has turned you back into a.
Nope, I
Healthier.
actually have never felt so good.
All right, well, we got
Quit smoking.
some business to transact here. These are two files. 251187 SD is a operating while intoxicated case that occurred on June 4th of 2025. Then there's another one, 251176 SD, which occurred on June 20th, and that is a conviction of impaired driving. Jordan Harden is here on behalf of the defendant. This is a case with a lot going on. Defendant had a operating while intoxicated. What was the 2-4 one? Leaving the scene of a property damage accident, failed to report accident November of 24. That's 2412106. 3. Oops. Then on January 29th, you got it operating while intoxicated. That's in 25191 SD. These are detailed in the report. Then you got arrested on June 4th in 25191 SD, got out, got rearrested on June 20th in 251176. So we're actually going to do sentencing in two separate cases. Matt Huff drew this assignment and he spent a lot of time working on this report, trying to make sure he got all the facts straight. Ms. Harden, what would you like us to know?
Well, Your Honor, my interactions with Mr. Peters have been similar to that of Mr. Huff in that he credits his sobriety to feeling better overall. I know the first time I met him at the jail, he had made the comment how he was already feeling better. He'd only been in for a short period of time. As the court notes, he's been in for 74 days now, and he's going without a walker. When I first met him, he was still using a walker. So I think it speaks volumes to the effect and the negative impact that alcohol has had on his life. And I think that this period of sobriety has really shown him what life can be without dependency on alcohol. He is serving time on an underlying probation violation. I believe he was sentenced to 90 days, so I'm unsure how much time is remaining on that sentence. However, I would ask the court to adopt the recommendation put forth by Mr. Huff, with the large chunk of jail being deferred so that Mr. Peters can get engaged in treatment outside of jail. The testing, he does report he's got a place to stay in 3 rivers. He did lose his housing while incarcerated. But I think at this point, granted, we have several convictions fairly quickly in time to each other. But I think at this point, Mr. Peters has a new perspective on life in that he's been sober for an extended period of time, and he can really see the benefits that the sobriety will have on his overall quality of life. So I think the recommendation that Mr. Huff has prepared, it was thoughtfully laid out and is appropriate, and would ask the court to recommend or adopt that today. Thank you.
Ms. Canfield, the concerns you had in Mr. Johnson's case are all here in this case.
Correct, yes.
He was very high blood alcohol levels each time, very close together. A probation violation. He was on probation when he got the first one. He was on bond and probation when he got the second one. And we were not making any progress. All right. What's your thought here?
Well, that remains my concern, Your Honor, as indicated by the court. When somebody comes to us with 3 in a very short period of time, and at least one with a 0.38 blood alcohol, another one with a 0.2, another one with a 0.18, we're talking about a severe alcohol dependency and addiction. He did indicate to Mr. Huff that part of that was a divorce and loss of property, which certainly can significantly affect individuals. But each of these were not only a danger to himself, but a danger to society and every single person on the road. He's very fortunate that there wasn't a serious accident where somebody was either injured or killed, given these blood alcohol levels. Most people at a 1.8 would be passed out. He's up to a 3.8 on some of these, which is just alarming. The damage to his liver must be significant. I am pleased that he reports to the court he is feeling so much better physically and mentally, as he's also discussed with his counsel, as she's reported today. Sobriety gives you a different outlook on life, that things do go on and can go on after divorce. You can rebuild your life, you can work and gain some of your property back or get new property. It does not have to be the end. But in order to advance yourself, you also have to accept sobriety, which I think is going to be a struggle for him. I'm glad that he's had a pretty significant start on it while in custody pending these sentencings today. I do believe that Mr. Huff's recommendation is appropriate, willing to give him an opportunity on probation. Frankly, he's setting himself up for felony and a prison sentence if he doesn't complete it successfully and gets another one during the time frame he's on probation, if the court is so inclined to sentence him to that. So this isn't a name that I will forget, and if it comes across my desk for another one, I will charge it as a 3rd offense, and I will ask that it remain a felony. I mean, the danger to himself and the public is just too great not to. So this is kind of his last opportunity to really focus on being healthy and productive.
Mr. Peters, what do you want to tell me?
This has been an eye opener, as she has stated, and I talked to Mr. Huff about what I've gone through in the last just over a year between divorce, house loss, job loss. And now I just find out a month ago, the apartment I got, for whatever reason, I've been evicted. But I've been in here long enough, I feel great. I have no cravings. I've talked to a lot of inmates. We all seem to have the same thing. And when you're by yourself, yeah, you can drink more. But when you're hanging out with somebody like I have with 11, 12 guys in the cell or in the dorm, no cravings whatsoever. I mean, yes, like I say, it's an eye opener. And for me, I really didn't think it was getting that bad, but obviously it did.
Well,
I
I'm guessing that your alcohol had to do with your divorce. You've got it backwards. Your divorce led to your alcohol.
Wow.
Your divorce led to your alcohol. Your job loss led to your alcohol. I think it's the other way around. I don't see an eviction in here. So they must have just moved your stuff out or something. Where were you living?
You know where the old Finnerman's is at, 2.5 miles up the road, those
Yeah.
new apartments behind there.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I don't.
One
was
of
it-
your,
Was it in your name?
yes, or my daughter. I was at recovery in
What's her name?
California, Kimberlin Froa. Don't ask me how to spell that.
All right.
F-R-O-H-E-I-P. Yes, one of your deputies at the sheriff's department told me there was an eviction notice on my door.
I don't deny it. It hasn't made it here yet.
And of course,
Maybe she just moved out.
I can't call my daughter. She can't accept whatever that is, where she has to pay for it.
Market rent,
Excuse me?
market rent.
I guess, yes.
All right.
Collect call.
Oh,
She
okay.
attempts to put the information in and I don't know what happens, but she told Sergeant Adam Balk that she cannot complete the transaction thing over the phone.
All right. Well, I don't even know what to say. Mr. Huff, I know you spent a lot of time on this. You're willing to take a chance. I'm not sure I am. What's your thought here?
Well, I'll make this relatively brief because I think most of it's been touched on. For a fact, I think we need to talk about the timeline here. You briefly touched on last year and into early January. The January sentencing was supposed to take place on May 13th, which Mr. Peters was unable to make it to his sentencing that day. He failed to appear. A bench warrant was sent out. And then, so that's May 13th. June 4th, he's arrested on another drunk driving case. He's released on that. There's a bond set by Judge Pattison, and then June 20th, we have another one. On the June 20th date, this is something where essentially I was tipped off that Mr. Peters was intoxicated down the road. And so I put in for a welfare check, and he was in his apartment complex just drinking that day in his car. Like it seems to have been kind of his MO. And then by the time I got a deputy sheriff being able to respond to that, he had already driven into Three Rivers to grab something to eat for lunch, and now they waited for him on his way back. So this was something that was commonplace. It was daily. We're lucky that no one, including Mr. Peters, is hurt or worse, because this is something that was, in my, I guess my understanding was essentially, this was pretty much daily. It was just
Now, the 3/8 was the,
June 4th incident.
okay, I had it backwards.
Yep.
And he was-
The day that he was sitting in the parking lot was at 1.19. So we're still talking over twice the legal limit. We're still at the super drunk, statute threshold there. So this is, from what I was able to deduce after talking with John, there's some mental health issues going on that lead to the drinking. I don't know if he's come to full terms to understanding that just yet, but treatment is the only way we're gonna get John in a situation where he's not gonna come back,
Mhm.
or we're not gonna read in the newspaper that Mr. Peters himself is deceased, or he's killed somebody else, one of our family members that might be on the road, one of his family members that might be on the road. So, yes, I take this extremely serious. This is one of the worst drunk driving sprees that I've seen, maybe ever. The court would not be unjustified if they just did maximum jail, and we'll let Mr. Peters figure it out afterwards. The reason I fashioned together a recommendation the way that I did isn't because I think that Mr. Peters deserves it, you know, on his face, but rather that it's the only chance that we're gonna have where I think that he's not gonna come back. He's got abstinence right now. He's got 74 days abstinence. That's forced sobriety. I would like him to get out into the community and actually live the sobriety out. That's what changes people's lives, not just the abstinence or the abstaining from alcohol, but making the decision every day, despite the temptations and the trials that he's gonna experience in life. He's gotta learn how to do that. If we can walk beside him, then great. If he can't do the probation, I agree with Ms. Canfield, then we can do maximum jail for each
Why
time.
not sobriety court?
Sobriety court, he had physically at the time that this was referred in, and we discussed it as the sobriety court team.
Yes.
He was not in physical shape to be able to perform just the basic duties of making it in and out of drug and alcohol screening. He was falling over on his way into the courthouse, on his way in to pick up Little Caesars. He was falling over into the parking lot. And then also he has no place right now. We're hopeful he's just gonna have a place to live with his daughter. But he doesn't have enough stable conditions around him in order, I think we'd be setting up for failure at this point. That's why I wrote in my report that, you know, if he's doing very well after a month or two on his probation, we could always revisit. If he's got the ability to comply with the terms of a sobriety court, I would be willing to come back in front of the court and request that. But as it was, and as it has been since he's been in custody, he's not, in my opinion, provided enough evidence that he would be able to comply with the terms of a sobriety court probation.
All right, I'm gonna do the sentence in the second case first. Which is an impaired. According to this, he's got 80 days jail credit, which would be 10 days in June, 31 days in July, 31 days in August, and 8 days. Yes, that's 80 days. And the impaired driving, I'll give him 80 days jail credit, 80 days. Leaving 0 days to serve, concurrent with the earlier case, which is 251187. Under $125 or 2 additional days, which is the minimum allowable fine. In the high blood alcohol level case, there's a little extra credit in that case. He got 80 days. And then what he got at the front. Oh, I got it backwards. The June. No, yeah. The June 4th case is the high blood alcohol. And he has, I think, an additional day.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna order a 24-month probation. 120 days jail, credit 81. Leaving 39 days to serve. Zero costs, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee. I'll waive the screening fee. I'll charge the attorney fee and $960 probation oversight fee. Was there a police reimbursement?
Not on the copy of the police reports that I received.
I didn't see one, Your Honor.
Let's add that up. Oops. This could be lower. If you do this in a year, we'll take 480 off. As it is, it's 1,235, which is a lot for a guy who doesn't have any money. We're gonna order alcohol treatment as directed, testing as directed, no drugs and no alcohol. You're gonna do some more jail time. You don't have any cravings. My suspicion is if I let you out today, you'd be drunk by the day after tomorrow. We need a little more clean time and we need some supervision. Plus, there's a large punishment component here. You're dangerous. 0.38 driving down the roadway. You're in a dark spot. Have you been going to any AA or anything at the jail? All right, that's very promising. He's been doing Celebrate. Which one is this, Pastor Jerry?
Excuse me.
Who's doing this Celebrate?
Well, there's 4 from Riverside Church that come in every Wednesday. They each speak.
All right, I'm very pleased about that, Mr. Peters. That's-
No, it's that's part of the eye opener. I mean, I hate to say it, I'm not a godly person. But what they talk about, and you can ask questions or whatever, very informative. And like I say, it makes you look at the other side of things, not just my side and what I think, but.
All right, you can go with the officers. You might be a little late for lunch. When you get out of jail, Matt, will you connect with him while he's there?
I will connect with him before he's released.
All right, you're good to go, sir. That's gonna be concurrent with the other case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
John, I'm gonna try to get with Abigail so we
Thank
get
you, Your
everything
Honor.
coordinated. So when you're
Thank you,
released-
Jordan.
Thank you.
Well,
again
I'm
for
already late
accommodating
for
me.
the meeting. I will depart. Thank you, Angelique.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
My fear is no one's going to this meeting because it's in Three Rivers and we're all late, but I will.
All right, let's talk about that. Judge Middleton's courtroom wrapped up sentencing for John David Peters, and the results showed just how close he is to running out of chances in with a string of drunk driving cases piled on top of each other. A probation violation from late 2024, then a new OWI in January, then arrests again on June 4th and June 20th of this year, both with staggering blood alcohol levels. We're talking 0.8, 20, and even a 38, levels where most people would be passed out. But he was still driving. His attorney pointed to 74 days of sobriety in jail as a turning point. Peters himself said he felt better than he had in years, that he had no cravings, and credited Celebrate recovery sessions in jail with giving him perspective. The prosecutor, though, didn't pull punches. This was one of the worst drunk driving sprees she'd seen, and it was pure luck no one was hurt or killed. She warned that if Peters reoffended, the next case would be charged as a felony, no exceptions. The probation officer's report struck a balance. Yes, Peters had shown some improvement while locked up, but his history of drinking daily and driving drunk was so severe that treatment outside jail was the only real shot at breaking the cycle. Middleton seemed torn, acknowledging Peters looked better, but also reminding him bluntly, "If I let you out today, you'd be drunk by the day after tomorrow." In the end, the judge ordered 24 months of probation, treatment and testing, no drugs or alcohol, and 39 more days in jail on top of the 80 he'd already served. Financial penalties added up to just over $1,000. a tough hit given Peters lost his housing and job while locked up. The courtroom atmosphere was heavy, but practical. There was no sugarcoating the danger Peters posed, but also no rush to just max him out on jail time. Middleton's sentence gave him structure, some breathing room for sobriety, and one last chance to prove he could handle life outside bars. Time to break this one down. Judge Middleton balanced punishment with cautious hope, making clear that Peters' window is closing fast. If this probation fails, the next stop is a felony conviction and likely prison. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.